Step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. Sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The blood on the track suddenly must be mine.
Look at Mbappe, three wide going into school.
And Mbappe does it. Oh, what a move! What a move!
All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean?
Himself in the history books. He is, without a doubt, the man of F1XL, but now he's a three-time F1XL champion. He's brilliant.
For what you believe, so open up your fist, no you won't receive the thoughts and the words of every man you'll need.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the F1XL Extra Show. Now, it's after round 3, the French Grand Prix. We've had an absolutely incredible one in F1, but we're not just here about the F1 side of things. We've got 5 leagues this year, or this season, I should say, and there's plenty of ones to go through. But we've got some other news as well. First of all, I'd like to thank Simply YT, he's the F5 driver, that's added something a little bit different to this show. It'll happen 5 times. Hopefully, you guys will be able to...
5 times.
hopefully you guys will be able to pick it up. I do have Mr. Tazo with me yet again. Mr. Tazo, welcome to the show. I was going to introduce you next before I went on to possibly the big thing.
But you said 5 times, you know. It would be rude for me not to, for those wrestling fans out there. They would be quite annoyed at the fact that I didn't do that if that didn't happen. So I had to kind of, you know.
I mean, it's understandable. It is understandable. But next, I suppose there's a few thank yous I'm going to go through this show. I think I'm going to thank more people in this show than I have done in a season in XL throughout. First of all, going to go with Slow Dog, who put me in touch with what I'm just about to show you guys. And then there's some further things as well to go behind, and thank a few people behind the scenes there as well. But I think the big reveal, Taz, are you ready for this?
It's time!
I'm guessing that means he's ready. So ignore this. Well, look at the screen quite intently, because I'm going to show you our home page of a merchandise store front. The F1XL merchandise store. It is only clothes at the moment. I say only clothes. It's pretty awesome nonetheless. But here we go. We've got a few different varieties to go through. It's got my logo on them as well. So as you can see here, because we are that cool. And I mean, I've got to send some stuff over to the social media accounts in a little bit. I know I've got my eye on a few things in here already, and there's a few things in my basket, but not on the basket on this screen anyway. So let's, for argument's sake, you're feeling like, I don't know, you wanna be a little bit depressed for the day. You're looking. You've just had 2 sweaty goals scored against you on FIFA, and you think this is the perfect hoodie to wear. Now, obviously, it's got the sizes you've got there. I guess I've been in lockdown for a little while, so I've put on a little bit of weight. So I'm going to go extra large, and then you've got a colour there. If you don't want a hoodie though, you can just I guess click back. And then there's a few other things to go through. Let's go for a t-shirt. You want a, I don't know, polo. Let's go polo. So you've got your sizes, you've got your different colours there. This bit here, the Warder logo. I mean, I'd love it if you all have it on there, but I mean, obviously you've got to have your own stuff there as well. There will be a button to cut it out at some point. Then you can get your initials in there. There's Matt there for some reason, but that's my initials, and then my driver number is 23. So you can get it's personalisation on some of these as well. Again, you've got your colours there through it all, and then head back. I'm trying to make sure you guys have the best through it all through it there. Let's see, what else can I do? What's got a fair few colours? I've not had a look at the rucksacks yet. I guess hoodies. There's a hoodie there. Let's go hoodie. The other hoodie style. Again, sizings, and then the colours. Now, once you've found something you want, let's have a look. For argument's sake, let's go for the joggers. They're a little bit tight for me, but let's go black. You've done that. You've added it to the basket. There you go. Loads of stuff in there. Apparently it is saved in there, so let's... And it's got my address in there. Awesome. So when you go down to here, if you apply the code KNN and apply, you get 15% off. Now, this is a short amount of time deal. So I don't know how long that 15% off is going to be, but because you are watching, you know the code. So get ordering. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you've got my address up there. That's pretty cool.
So just to jump in for a second, so the 15% code is for the next 7 days, and that will also include free shipping for the next 7 days.
There you go, Mr.
Based
Tazo.
on conversation we've had from the supplier.
Yes. So to find our shop in here, you go to Sports Club, or Team Shop, Sports Club, when it eventually loads, and you head to F. It's all in alphabetical order, so you head to F, because funnily enough, F1.
Gareth, you can do easier than that. If you go to the main page again, and then if you go to the teams, we're on there at the top.
We were. It's not
under team shops.
Oh, it is. It is actually back there. It kept on failing on me earlier, but there you go. There's the other way. So the link very, very soon will be on all our social media. I'm gonna Andy or Andrew. I'm not actually 100% sure. I haven't actually called him by his name yet. But the guy that's running the Silver FX site has been absolutely phenomenal help for us. So I guess it's time for me to actually get on with the show and not try and do all this. Now,
make us money. Wait, what?
It does do shipping outside into Europe, America, and like I was going to say, the guy that put Slow Dog in touch with this actually runs an NFL through there as well. So if you honestly, they do a podcast and they have some NFL stuff going on all the time. I'll throw the detail. I'll be kind to them because they've made our life a little bit easier as well. So I guess, Tazo, your thoughts on this, because obviously it's a thing from you as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it for a while. Obviously we have had conversations with people, and it is something that we were considering. So now the fact of being able to do it, it's I'm glad. Now,
I was hoping for a little bit longer than that, so I can actually get the first guest into it.
Okay, words. Obviously, this is all to do with clothing as such. I think we will be looking to do a little bit more in terms of some other things as well in the future, but we will confirm that at a later point in time. Because obviously we know people want to see things like mugs. I mean, there's 2 of us on here already, so I don't know why I need another one, but Let me think what else. There was, I think it was Jack London, the Nuthead, wanted a mouse pad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mouse mat, sorry, yeah. So, yeah, there will be more to come. That's what I will say.
Right, I'm going to have to go to Madman to get the F5 guy in.
Okay, so good start. We don't know who the F5 guy is because I haven't got the list. F1 XL adult toys. I mean, Bonta, you are a massive cock anyways. I don't know why you need one. Yep, I went there.
Yes, definitely. Hopefully, Madman will get this guy into. I mean, all he needs to do is just, to be perfectly honest, join off my name because the party is open for him just to come in. So, I guess. Where are we going to go with this? Because I'm just going to. Let's get the standings up, just to be on the safe side. Because I really want to show off what Simply YT has done for us. So this guy really needs to get into the party. It's a bit late for doing face masks. I was interested. I was thinking about getting face masks into it. But I don't know. Everyone seems to have one as well.
Roland doesn't want the Warder logo.
It will be changed tomorrow, Roland. You can get that also. Nuthead is pissed off. Taz, do you want to explain what you did to Nuthead earlier?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so he had an inkling that it was definitely going to be merchandise, and I said that we're probably at least 2 or 3 weeks away from that happening. So now the fact that he's just heard about this, he's yeah. I have no regrets on that one, and I don't care.
I mean, he can't hate me for too long.
I mean, have you met the guy?
Nuthead.
I mean, he could easily hate you.
He can never hate me. Not after the name.
The gentleman.
Yeah, Jack the Gentleman
The
of
bollocks.
London.
That's what we're calling that, by the way. Yeah, not Carol. That's the only announcement for now. That's all I'm going to say is for now.
It got you all thinking though.
Oh yeah.
But it had been, and it's been mooted for a while, and yeah. There is something else the admins are chatting about at the moment anyway, so more on that later. I guess actually I'm going to go and throw my phone about because that's a great start to the show, and I'm going to speak to the next person on the show, I guess, because
F4. You can take F4 because I've already spoken to him on the post show.
do you have him on your friends
Yeah.
list?
Probably not, to be fair.
Right.
Glad to see things have gone so well to start off with. I personally am blaming Madman. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, it probably would help if I could actually spell this person's gamer tag as well. Right. No, don't. There we go. Cool. Fantastic. So, while we wait for him to pop into the party, what I'm going to do is just mute those for a second. So they can't... They won't... Well, when they speak, they won't be able to... You guys won't be able to hear them until I actually... introduce them properly, I think is the best way. And I want to just quickly double check my stats to make sure I have got the right finishing position for said driver. And I did get it right. It wasn't second place. So a rookie to the league, and he's managed to... Well, only have 1 point before Sunday's race. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely over the moon being on Extra for the first time as well. But Unreal Salmon is my guest today.
Hello.
Oh, no. I put the wrong one on. Oh, Salmon, I'm so sorry.
What did you do?
I've put Joshua's on, not Salmon's.
Well done. This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh, dearie me. And that would have been so nice as well. But anyway, welcome to the Extra Show. I'll throw that back on in a minute. I mean, going into this race, how were you thinking for Friday? For France?
Not super confident. I'd been doing quite a lot of practice with Az and George who are in my league. But they're just way faster than me. So I was practicing qualifying on the softs, and I could do like a 1:29.4 if things were going well, which I was feeling quite happy about. But when it came to race pace, practicing with them, it really wasn't going well for me, and I was picking up penalties, like a lot of them, which obviously at France can win or lose the race. So yeah, I was hoping for points, because I felt like I had been unlucky in the first two races a bit, but yeah, I wasn't expecting the win.
Now, obviously, you're new to the league and you've not had much in the way of F1 XL dealings before. Was it a shock to you, like team ownership and how in depth that goes?
Yeah, it was, because when I thought of joining an F1 league, I thought it was just kind of, you just turn up on the day of the race, do it, and then wait until the next one. But yeah, I really like with the team owners being in the team, because people in my team have been very helpful. This is my first league ever. So they've been really helpful with giving me like settings and tips on what to do.
So it's really like scratched the surface of your XL knowledge, but like obviously you said that you wanted more points from the first two rounds, but a 10th and 11th, were you? I mean, it's halfway through the grid. You're smack in the middle, and then obviously you took the victory at France. But surely there's got to be some positives that it's your first league, your first time here as well. So those first two results, were you a little bit happy with?
Yeah, I guess it was just that when I came 11th, that was out. Only 12 people finished the race, and the other person that came 12th was my teammate, so it wasn't the best result for us. And yeah, I guess for the first race especially, I wasn't used to how it was going to work, like with qualifying and stuff. And then what I did find was that, because I used to do quite a lot of like unranked lobbies with damage off, so I was braking a lot later and not really worrying about a few bumps here and there. But now I kind of realised that you've really got to be quite careful, because in the first two races, what made it go badly was taking wing damage and bumping into people, really.
Now, looking more in depth into the season, obviously 19 rounds still to go, but I mean, what's surprised you most about your league competitors at the moment?
Well, I like how in F4 it really isn't super competitive. Like, I think everyone wants to do the best they can, but then there's quite a lot of joking around going on, like on the stream, and in our F4 chat. And yeah, it's been pretty good. I think everyone was when I didn't think everyone would be as fast. Like that's not meant in a rude way to anyone. Just being put in like the fourth or fifth league. Yeah, everyone's really, really quick compared to me, anyways.
That's all right. Most people are quicker than me as well. You got Russia next on the grid. Is this a track that you like, or is it an indifferent one? Or
I really don't like it so far. I think I already thought of it badly, as the Grand Prix are pretty boring there, anyways. And then when I've been doing laps around it at the moment, I keep going off in places, invalidating laps, and don't seem to have super a lot of race pace when I'm racing against some people in my league when I've been practicing with them. But if I can get a quali lap together and then be careful like I was in France, things might fall into place.
my recommendation would definitely speak to Pickled Avenger, because he started life in F4 and now he's in F1. So if you ever get caught, speak to that man. And Light Shock is pretty decent to tap knowledge from as well. But moving on, F4. I mean, who do you think is going to take victory in the race this week?
I would say George, in my opinion. He's got a lot of pace. He's really, really quick, but he's been pretty unlucky so far. Crashed out in Abu Dhabi in turn 2, which we really don't let him forget. And then just, knocking things around. He had a quali ban in France, which I would have said he would have got pole on. So yeah, I definitely think he's got the pace. In France, he caught me up and took 3rd place before the safety car happened, and then just made the mistake of pitting and finished like 10th. But yeah, I think he could take it.
Fair enough. I think Mr. Tazo, anything from your side?
Yeah. I'll chip in with a couple of quick things. Hello again, Simon. Long time no speak. I mean, it's been what, 3 days? Can you believe now that you finally, 3 races in, 1-1?
Yeah, I was, as you probably could have told from the interview on Sunday, I was very shocked.
Yeah, just slightly.
Yeah, just because I hadn't expected it and was aiming for 1 podium the whole season. And yeah, now I think basically anything unlucky that happened in the first 2 races, then I seems like I just kind of gained luck from it. Just nothing unfortunate happened the whole race. And I was in, even before the safety car, which gave me the win, I was in quite a good position. Had no penalties, and I was in, I think, 4th. So it was looking like a good points finish. And then, yeah, things just happened.
Yeah, I mean, that safety car definitely changed the race, I'll say that much. One driver losing it, and suddenly safety car came out with 6 laps to go, and there was that whole scramble. Did you feel worried when you pitted, or sorry, when you didn't pit and everybody else did? Obviously cars, like Frosted, like Greeners, like Nick, all behind you on brand new soft tyres, and you're on those sort of medium range hard tyres. Were you sort of worried that you were just going to be like a sitting duck for the rest of the race?
When you say it like that, it does sound very scary. But in the moment, I just thought, I thought I didn't have any time penalties. A lot of people did. My tyres were on like 40%, so I thought I could get them around. And I just thought, realistically, how many people can overtake me in 4 laps, which we were gonna have. And everyone around me had like 8 seconds of time penalties.
I think that was one of the sort of two things that we mentioned on the stream. So we sort of said the fact that A, you didn't have any time penalties, but B, I think more importantly from our point of view anyways, you had 2 cars right behind you who weren't on new tires either. So they were almost like a slight buffer for you if you could keep them behind you, and it's exactly what ended up happening. But the one thing I'm going to say in regards to penalties is we need to give a shout out to Slow Dog, because Slow Dog crossed the line in 9th position and ended up with a podium.
Insane. Yeah.
We were watching it and being like, Slow Dog's got a chance here. I think Slow Dog has a chance here. But honestly, just give it a watch, because it was a great race in general. But yeah, so you think, George, this weekend? Do you know what, Gareth? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win this weekend at Russia and F4?
I like how you said, do you know what, Gareth?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Slow Dog.
Okay. I think that's a steady shout, but I'm saving my Slow Dog shout for next week. But that's a whole different conversation. You know what? I am going to... Oh, this is a difficult one, actually. Russia. Okay, I am going to back Frosted. I think he's going to be pissed after what happened at the weekend. So I'm backing him for a second week running. He was in line to do really well, and then shit hit the fan, is the way to describe it. So I think this week he comes back stronger.
Or you could say I'm gonna get 2 in a row. You never know.
I could, but then I would be lying to myself as well, wouldn't I?
Oh, we'll see.
I think, you know what, like after your performance last week, I'm not saying that it was a fluke, because it wasn't. You played the strategy absolutely perfect, but I think that you probably were looking for a podium that race, and you got more than what you probably should have, if you know what I mean. I thought you'd go really well, but I didn't think that you, like, for the whole race you were sort of thereabouts, but you were never really sort of in the winning conversation until that safety car. So
I definitely got lucky.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think you and your teammate next week, or this weekend, sorry, I expect to see a strong showing from both of you, because you had a good weekend at France, even though the points for him didn't quite show. But I think better move on quickly before Gareth starts messaging me going, hurry up. So have you got any final words before we move on?
No.
No? Well, thank you very much for coming on. And
thank you for having me.
You never know, fingers crossed I might even be able to speak to you on Sunday after the race.
Maybe.
Right, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your stream.
Thank you.
Thank you very
So that
much.
was Unreal Salmon, F4 winner. Best league, might I add, but let's not go into that too much. What moving on to now, Gareth? Are we doing F3 or are we doing F5 or?
I'm gonna try and get F5 into this and hope for the best.
Are you gonna call him Unreal Salmon on the stream? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Exactly that.
I'm just gonna while we're doing that, I'm just looking in the chat. So, Madman said he's P. Well, Scotsman, I thought you of all people, considering you live in Scotland but know how to spell the word salmon, considering it's probably one of the biggest fish in the country. I think I've done my job in the chat.
Fantastic. So let's get F5 over and done with. And this, we have Joshua. I've actually got Joshua on there, so it's fine.
And put the other guys' name on it.
Oh, you're good, dude. Just fine out here, Josh.
No, bro.
All of a sudden, I just want to put maybe F1 Profit Media. No. So F5, another rookie in respect. So it seems like a rookie show tonight, from what I've got. But you seem to have settled into the league pretty well. Do you prefer Josh or Joshua?
You can call me whatever you like.
Ooh, I'm liking this.
I'm going to leave you two to it by the sounds of it.
So, yeah, again, a rookie, like Salmon was before. Maybe that's why I got it mixed up. I don't know. But you found yourself into a team. I'm going to ask the same question as I asked Salmon as well. Did you realise how in depth F1XL was before, like the team owner side of things was?
No. So surprised actually how well you actually run it and what it actually is, because I've never seen anything like it before. I've been league racing for only about 6 months. I've been playing F1 games since Nintendo 64. I'm one of the old boys, so it's amazing, absolutely brilliant what you guys are doing, and I'm just proud to be part of it.
That's brilliant. I've got hints of Slow Dog accent in this as well, so it feels like I'm speaking to Slow Dog, which is brilliant.
Lincolnshire.
So not far, I don't think.
I don't know where it is.
It feels like I'm now going to know where everyone lives. I don't know that. That's not what's going down. So okay, obviously after
I'll back you up just quickly on this because the chat is going crazy. He does sound like Slow Dog. So it's not just you.
Obviously round one you came third, and then there was the issue in F5 on around Baku where tyres and
Yeah, shit show.
yeah. But coming into this race, what were you feeling for France?
I put in a lot of hours this week and put in a lot of practice. I thought I just don't want to turn up, I want to do something, so I put in a lot of hours. Oh, good, France isn't the best track, is it? It's shocking. Yeah, no, it was alright. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Russia's the same though. Russia and France are pretty much the same.
Yeah, I prefer them on the game than I do in real life, but that's neither here nor there. So you said you put in a lot of practice. Obviously, you've got what I regard as one of the best team owners on the grid in Beastie. I mean, how has that helped you A, settle into F1XL, and B, just try and improve yourself as a driver?
He's just a sound guy, isn't he? You know, in the chat, he's always talking, he's always wishing everybody well, he's always giving everybody hints, he's always giving everybody tips, you know, he's brilliant. I mean, I was all messaging each other on Sunday night when I won. There was some expletives in there, and I just says, look, I thank you for giving me a chance, you know. Let me in, let me have a go, and I got the win. I did say at the start that I'd get him points. Couldn't know I'd get him a win, but yeah, no, he's a sound guy, really cool guy.
See, obviously it's very early doors. I'm not going to ask the question, who do you think is going to win the title? Because there's a lot of drivers in there which are rookies in their own right. But who's impressed you so far in F5?
I think there's two guys that probably around the same pace as me, and that's the two Gs that I like to call them, G-Wee and Jamie the G.
I like that.
Yeah, calling them the two G because they're always on my ass. But no, yeah, them two. Well, I mean, the two races that we done and the qualifying before it all went to the shit. I think I qualified second at Azerbaijan, and I think it was G-Wee got pole. But yeah, it's them two. Them two are pretty quick.
Obviously, the podium sitters for the two races that have counted are exactly the same. The only people that have changed are you and Jiwi, who've first and third, which means that there's a 4-point gap between three drivers after two races. Do you think you guys are the ones to beat in the league, or do you think there's still more to come from some of the others?
It's too early, isn't it? Yeah, it's too early. I mean, Abu Dhabi, France, it's not the most popular track, so I fully expect when we get to the Spas, the Monzas, guys that have put more hours into them tracks, you're going to see them, hopefully you'll see I don't want it to be a 3-horse race. I want everybody else to join in, and I fully expect that when the popular tracks come up, we're going to see how fast the other guys are. But it's only a few races into it. It's very early.
What's your favourite track then? What is on the track that on the calendar that you want you're going to do well?
Australia, Monza, Hungary, Spa. Been putting a few hours last night into Russia as well. Actually, I mean, I've always hated that track, but it's growing on me.
Do you hate it to watch or race?
Race. Yeah, I hate to race. It's just penalties galore, isn't it? You go slide your tyre off. I think it's turn 5 or 6. Seems to be a constant thing for me, so I need to sort that out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just not looking forward to Monaco.
It's not.
Nobody likes Monaco.
Actually, there's quite a few that do. So be warned.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going to eat my words, and that's where everybody else will turn up on Monaco.
Well, you never know. Touch wood, you might turn up and things go your way at Monaco. We do a front wing lottery as well, but more about that at the time. Heading to Russia then. What you said you put a little bit of practice in. What do you think at the moment? What do you think your pace is like?
I mean, if I have a good race, I'll get podium. I think. I've got to be confident. I think I'll get a podium. I hope I'll get a podium. Yeah, I'll put more hours in the week when I'm not working, and I'll see what I can do.
All right then. Right, Mr. Tazo, I'm going over to you.
Okay. Hello, Joshua.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Very well. I've heard a lot about you.
Ah, well, that's a bad thing probably, but hey, there we go. Where do I start? Do you know what? Right, I'm going to touch on your favourite tracks first of all, because I've sort of been listening and noting things down. Strikes me as a lot of classic tracks, sort of your more old school tracks. Is that fair to say on that?
Yeah, I'm an old boy. I'm 34, mate. So I've been watching F1 since I was 5 or 6. Like I say, I've been playing the games since the old Nintendo 64. There used to be an old game on that, so all the classics.
Yeah. So you sort of maybe prefer like the tracks. I'm trying to think of other ones. Obviously, maybe like things like Japan and that as well. Then, or
Yeah, Suzuka, yeah, brilliant.
Good. Slow Dog has just replied, going old, poofed.
Oh, is that the guy that sounds like me?
Yeah.
Is he older than me? Is he?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Slow Dog. I don't want to make a prediction on this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move on swiftly. Have you found the racing in F5? Obviously, I know you've done technically 3 races, but we're classing it as 2 classified races. Have you found it sort of a real slog? Are you enjoying the wheel-to-wheel battling? How are you finding it in F5 at the moment?
It's very clean, very clean. It is hardly. I think we've had one safety car. I think that was at the end of Abu Dhabi. No, it's really good racing. Like I say, nobody's barging you off the track. Nobody's running to the back here. It's all clean. It's some good racing with Jamie the G in Abu Dhabi, the first race. I mean, I was stuck behind him in 3rd for the last 5 laps, and I just could not get past him because he knows where to defend. It's all proper. But
I have to admit, and a few of the guys from last season will back me up on this. Jamie the G had a terrible season last season, so I'm glad to see that this season he's managed to really get himself going at the start, because there were sort of hints of pace, so it's good to hear that he's battling you anyway, and battling clean as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Obviously, you are sort of, after 2 races in the top 3. Do you think there's a potential title fight for the season for you, or do you think this is maybe just a good start before maybe some worse tracks come up for you?
Yeah, it is a bit early, isn't it? I'd like to think I've been with a shout.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try my best and see where I end up. That's all I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what? We'll move on to prediction time. Who's winning F5 this weekend?
Me.
That's what I like to hear. I like people to come on here and back themselves.
Oh yeah.
You know, balls on
We'll
the
give it a
table,
go.
as I like to call it.
Yeah. I probably lost.
Gareth?
I'm going to back him as well. I'm going to back Joshua.
Which one's the Crystal Palace fan?
That'll be me.
I'm a United fan, so I think we're playing later
You
tonight.
can
aren't
fuck
we?
off. Honestly, I think it's going to be a massacre tonight. I'm already predicting it. So
You reckon?
I've not looked at the lineups, but it's going to be a massacre. That's all I'm saying. That.
We'll see.
Right. So you're going Joshua as well. Funnily enough, Gareth, you backed him last week.
Man.
So that'll be a point for Gareth.
Nice. I seen the one. I'm pretty sure the one I backed in F3 absolutely tanked it. So.
Yeah, to be fair, apart from that, I didn't really have a good one either. Let's have a look. Who else? Who do I back? Slowdog says you said nothing like him because you're a United fan rather than
I've
a
just
Liverpool
seen
fan.
that in the chat.
What an absolute guy. Right, okay. I am going to back someone who hasn't finished inside the top 3 yet, but I think can do it, and that's A. Jackson. I think he has got pace there. I know he's got pace there. He's just yet to show it. So I'm making a ballsy one on that one. I'm doing a Gareth, as we like to call it.
Something that I haven't done probably since the start of last season, and I only did 4 times. But
Yeah, but Gareth, doesn't matter. You do something once, it sticks with you.
very
That's what we
true.
do say.
Very true. Now, thank you very much for coming on to the Xtra Show, Joshua. Much appreciated. Have you got any final
Thank you for having me.
words for the guys out there?
Bloody hell. Don't let anybody tell you that shaving off your pubic hair will rid you of crab infestation. There you go.
Wow, that's not what I was expecting, but that is brilliant.
There you go, lads.
Okay, what a way to end the F3 segment of the F5 segment of the show. Sorry, and we'll move on. But much appreciated coming on, and hopefully have you on soon.
Okay, thanks for having me, lads. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.
Cheers. So that is F5 over and done with, and we're going to go to the next segment. Let's see if I can get this right. Hopefully I have this incorrectly. I have, and it's the McLaren driver. It is Bonta. Hello, Bonta.
Let the silence speak.
Yeah, so I've got my child on me at the same time, so I'm trying to keep her calm as well as unmute my mic.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mr. Dazzo, I'm going to let you have this one.
No. He's a Millwall fan. I can't. No. Ugh. Have to do something. Anyway, Bonta. Let's keep this short and simple. You won. Well done. Fuck off. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for having me. I'll see you next week.
Right. Okay. I suppose we better start off at the beginning. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is the first week without the Red Bulls. I think the common normal Red Bulls. Did you sort of think after 2 5th positions, I could maybe nick something here?
Not at this track, no. France, the first time I drove it was last season, so I wasn't expecting much. However, with how close it is, once you took out those 2 Red Bulls, that it's just so close. Like Chips and Davey with a great race, great qualifying on Sunday, and an unfortunate incident in the race. Beastie was up there. My Life had his incidents. Sambo was up there. There's about 8 or 9 drivers that could realistically get top 3 each race. So I was just hoping for a top 5 again. If I'd have got 5th again, I'd have been happy.
Yeah, and then just to do I think, the first thing I started seeing after the stream was finished was a message from you going, I've only gone and fucking done it.
Well, it's my first win, I think, since season 6. Obviously, I haven't raced every season, but I can't remember winning after the season 6.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to think. You definitely didn't win. You had a couple of second places last season, didn't you?
Yes, I had a second in Abu Dhabi, a second in Mexico. So I was just ecstatic that I'd somehow managed to get the win.
You had 3 second places, but you didn't have a win. Yeah, six in France last season, though, so you've gone slightly better than what you did.
Well, much better than what I did last year, really.
Do you know what? Let's actually talk about the grid in comparison to last season. Obviously, you're one of the guys who've remained in F3, haven't changed at all. But there's a lot of other guys who have sort of stayed in F3 as well, but are nowhere near the pace that they were last season. You got any idea why that might be?
I've no idea. I mean, the 2 big people that come to mind who have been drastically off the pace this season is Norris and Trold. Trold being the main one. Like, the only thing I'll give to Trold is he's not getting as many time penalties, so I don't know if he is trying to clean up his racing line, which is causing him to lose a couple of attempts a lap. Compared to last season. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I was surprised when it came into it. I was like, when I heard Troll was in the league, I'm going, he's going to walk it.
And have you been caught off guard by the lack of pace of Beastie as well? I mean, yes, he had a P4 at the weekend, but again, he was second in the championship last season, and 100 points clear of Norris, sort of in 4th place, and he's sort of just been there but not really done much in the first 3 races. Is that fair to say?
Beastie's an interesting one because he's got pace, but at the same time, the reason he was really up there last year was his consistency. Like, at the beginning of last season, everyone was all over the place, but if you wanted someone who was going to get you that top 5, it was going to be Beastie. Mm-hmm. And that's why he was so high on the points. I mean, I think last season, I believe he finished every race in the points. And this season, he's already finished once outside the points.
Yeah. And do you think that it's maybe just a case of that consistency isn't enough anymore?
I think it is still a major factor. I think consistency probably will win this season over outright pace. Just because, I mean, last Sunday, for instance, we all got stuck behind My Life for about 4 or 5 laps, who was on the medium tyres going long. He had damaged front wings, but you just couldn't pass him because there was only really 2 places you could pass him on both DRS straights. He just saved his DRS and went through it, which means I think it was something like at that point 4th to 12th was all in this train behind him. So I think it's just the only person who was clear of that was Beastie, who managed to pull 6-7 seconds on everyone just because of the pace difference. So I think it's just really, it's luck as well more than anything.
Yeah, that's fair. But as for you, 3 races in, and you are leading the championship by technically 20 points already.
Yes, it's putting a lot of pressure on me straight away.
Are you feeling that pressure? Because I kind of thought, someone like you, I've known you for God knows how long, and you never really sort of show pressure, if that makes sense. Like, there's some guys who you can tell when they're under pressure, but when you're driving, you just sort of turn up, get on with it, go back to streaming. So are you feeling the pressure a little bit more at the moment, yeah?
I mean, one of the reasons I came back is I did want to actually win a league. It was one of my main driving forces for coming back. That, and obviously I missed the racing. But, like, season 6 has haunted me all these years. Sort of like, I should have won that season.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm putting pressure on myself. I don't think the pressure from the other drivers is probably still the same. I'm not overly worried about what they're going to do, or I think the pressure that I'm putting on myself is different this year to any other year, because I feel like I've got a chance.
Okay. And is there any sort of like drivers at the moment that you're sitting there going, that's the person that I'm going to have to beat week in, week out to win a title.
I mean, obviously, Az was very fast at France. It was his first race, so I don't know if that could literally have been his best track. So I'm not taking anything for granted with him. Chips and Davy looks very fast, which has surprised me in a bit. I was expecting him to be fast, but I didn't expect him to be up there straight away. I think
I remember you
fourth
commenting at the ASR saying that you really were caught off guard by just how much pace Davey had. So
yeah, I think now it's coming to the race and he's still up there, and I'm sort of like, I wasn't expecting it. I mean, fourth in the first two races, and I think he span out this weekend, which is the only reason he didn't really finish high.
Mm-hmm.
But he qualified second, so it's sort of like he's got the pace. But I think overall it's probably going to be as beastie. And if Sambo can keep up what he did on the weekend, Sambo could be up there. I mean, it's the thing, I could literally name every driver, barring like 4 or 5. Like, Sambo could be up there, Trolled could pick it back up, Storm could have a good run, My Life could do it, it's going to be a hell of a season.
Yeah,
It's not
definitely.
that I'm the one who wins at the end.
The one thing I will say before I get your prediction is regarding Chips and Davy, I think I speak for probably most guys in F4 when I say this. And this is nothing against Davy because we all, do like him, but we didn't expect this from him because last season he was consistent, but he was never, like, towards the end of the season he got quite quick, but he was never like as quick as he is now. This is as quick as he's driven, and every single race he's getting quicker and quicker. So I think he will definitely be one to be keeping an eye on. But who's winning this weekend, Bonner?
I mean, going on pace of last weekend, I've got to go with Az. If he can keep it up and not make any mistakes, I think he should win. Dark horse, I'm going to say Storm. I like Ice Store. I think like he's a lot faster than a lot of people give him credit for. He just always seems to be involved in accidents, which are never his fault.
I mean, you sound like the start of an advert, but let's not get into that too much, yeah? Have you been in an accident? It wasn't your fault. Okay. So, are you going to go for Az? Or are you going to go for Ice Storm?
I'm going to play safe and go with Az.
Okay. Chicken. Gareth, do you want to ask one tiny question?
Are we going to have to promote you to F2? No.
No.
Obviously, McLaren this year. You were Red Bull last. No. Yeah, you were Red Bull last year, weren't you?
I was Red Bull last year, yes.
Yeah, I got that right. Good. Something I get right at least. What's the what's the difference in McLaren this year? Obviously, you've got team owner as your teammate as well. So, are you surprised by his form, or
Not really. I think that we are quite close in terms of pace, me and Conte. I mean, Conte did finish, 6th last year, I believe it was, in the championship, and he ended up being tier 2. But there isn't much of a pace difference between me and Conte. I think his strategies the last 2 races have been what's really let him down. He made mid-race changes both times. I think a lot of help from the F1 and F2 drivers this year compared to last year as well. I know last year I think it was Swain was given a lot of help, but this year like Hypers has been really active, like getting into practice sessions. Same with Jam, same with Zygon, and it just means that there's more practices, there's more chances of racing each other, and just helping you like distinguish where you think your pace should be compared to where it was last year.
Does McLaren kind of feel like a blast from the past? Because Conte's been here a little while, but you've got veterans in Zygon and Jam as well. Obviously yourself, 3 big names from season 6 and 5 and even 4, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I raced with, I think Zygon was one of the challengers in season 6. Jam's record speaks for itself. I don't know how many titles he ended up winning. but everyone in the team seems to be good and seems to be capable of scoring high points.
What, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what do you think McLaren's aim is then? Because obviously you've got a lot of pedigree there. Hypers, I think he's still getting used to the league a little bit. I'm expecting a little bit more from him from F1. I'm sure it will come though, because he's looking very racy. But what do you think as a whole for McLaren this season?
I mean, I think overall constructions we should be top 2, top 3. I'd be disappointed if we didn't get there. Obviously, Red Bulls are leading the way at the minute, but I think that's mainly because of the first 2 races in F3 where they got first, second. That helped them out a lot. I mean, hopefully as a team we'll be able to win the constructors. That would be nice.
Okay then. Well, Taz, have you got any predictions for Sunday? Because I know we got Bonters. Okay.
Good prediction.
Yeah. Silence. I'm sure we'll come back to that in a minute. What did you say? Did you say AZ? Did you?
I went with AZ just because his pace on Sunday at France was, I think he took pole by 6 tenths. It was scary. Base pace wasn't great, but I think overall his pace is probably the best in F3 at the minute.
I think I went narwhal last week and he severely let me down in 16th place. Let's see. Sambo was pretty solid in his race. Look, I mean, it was you crossed the line second, didn't you? But AZ.
Yes, AZ won it. AZ technically crossed the line first. I crossed second. Sambo crossed in third.
Okay. Let us then go. Damn it. I was just about to say Beastie and Taz messaged me saying Beastie. I'm gonna say Beastie for Russia. I'll stick with Taz on that as well. But Bonta, thank you very much for coming on to the show. No
problem.
Any final words for the guys out there?
No, not really. Hope everyone that's not in a McLaren crashes out horrifically at turn 1 so that we get 1, 2 in all 5 leagues.
I hope that's not the case, because it might end up some of the streams being boring, just 2 cars going around. But thank you very much, Bonta. Much appreciated. And see you soon.
Let's see you soon.
Right then. That's the F2 side of things done and dusted. F3 side of things done and dusted, sorry.
F3. Jesus, Gareth. Right, I'm back. And one little thing just to very quickly say as well. So you've gone Beastie, I've gone Beastie, Bonta's gone for Az. So 2 weeks in a row, the guy who's come on to do F3 has got it right. So if Bonta gets it right, that's 3 weeks in a row the winner's been predicted on Xtra. Just saying, that's a good sign for Az. Me and you, however, we had a shocker week last week.
Generally do, I think.
Well, you had one right, and I didn't have any.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's get the next F2 guest introduced and welcome Joe79.
Hello.
Now, is this a first for Xtra? I am sorry if it. I think it is, isn't it? Yeah.
This is a first for me. Yeah.
So, obviously, you were F3 for the start of it all, but then deemed a little bit OP for the league. Did that kind of how did that? I don't want to say how did that make you feel, like I'm your therapist, but I mean, was it a bit of a shock to the system?
To be fair, when I came into this league, I sort of wondered why I was in F3, so I thought that eventually, if I actually do what I'm capable of, I would get moved up to F2. It was just a matter of time, so I sort of prepared for it from race 1 anyway.
And then it's obviously worked out quite well, but we'll come to that in a minute. But obviously coming into this race, just newly promoted, kind of felt like probably a new league again for you. But like, how did you feel coming into the race? Did you think a podium was possible, or were you very much, let's just see what I can do?
I was sort of trying to find my feet, but I knew that I was capable of getting something from the race. Maybe not as far as a P2, but I just thought, well, if I get my head down, we'll see what happens because it's a long race, and if it could happen in that space of time.
You managed to keep the Red Bull seat as well. Is that something that you wanted? Did you prefer the Red Bull car, or does it not really matter to you?
Yeah, I've always thought it'd be nice just to stay in the team which I got selected for initially. So obviously it was a relief to get chose for it, but then I also feel bad for Jimmy because Jimmy was another class driver.
Do you think that you and Jimmy will have like your own little battle now throughout the season in F2 just to see who comes out on top?
Yeah, 100%. Like me and him are very close on pace, so it's going to be an interesting one all season.
Let's talk about not Russia, sorry, France. There's not much difference between the two countries, I guess. Yeah, how was it like when you were racing? Obviously, there's some really quick drivers here, some veterans in the F1 XL scene, I suppose you can say. When you were racing them, did you feel that, or did you just think that they were just another driver?
Yeah, well, I don't know lots of the people in F2 because obviously I'm only new here, but I think that's sort of an advantage to me because they don't know what I'm capable of, and then I can just sort of think of them as, yep, they're just another person to try and go ahead and like get ahead of. So I feel like it is beneficial coming in here as a rookie.
I mean, you finished second, so it's propelled you actually to seventh in the league, which is quite a big jump, thing as you've only had one race compared to their three. First of all, did you quite believe that you finished second? Because that's a really good position from where you were from F3 to F2.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised in the end because all race long, where it's so close across the whole like pack, you get so many like DRS trains that you don't know where you're going to come out of it all because obviously like separating at the top 10 in qualifying, I think there's no time between them, and then everyone else's race pace is so close that it's so difficult. You have to be on it 100% to actually get anything from that league.
And I guess lastly, moving on to Russia, is this a track that you like, or is this something you're not too sure on? Or?
No, I wouldn't be expecting anything from me this week because I'm not a fan of Russia at all. It's awful.
Nice, plain and simple. I mean, is it a track that you don't like watching as well as racing, or is it just the racing side?
Yeah, it's both of them. It's a boring one to watch anyway, but then racing it as well, it's just time penalties at every corner. It's just not a fun one to drive at all.
I mean, fair enough. I kind of agree with that one, to be honest. But I guess what's your favourite track on the calendar then? What will we look? Well, what as the extra team, I guess, are looking for from you in the season? Is it like a Monza and Spa, like I think it was Joshua said earlier on, or are you more of a more technical track?
I would probably have to say Singapore, but it's sort of one of those ones where I don't really have like a really good track. There's sort of a few group of them which are good, but Singapore is up there.
Yes, finally. Do you know how few people in this league love Singapore? Cracking track. Oh, it's a great track to drive, great track to fight on. Honestly. So I had to jump in with that. Honestly, you will not find a bigger Singapore fan than me when it comes to this. Like, everybody knows that when it comes to Singapore, it's like Taz's one to watch. Do you know what? I've just butted in, so I may as well start talking. Hello, Joe. How are you?
Joe, I'm good.
I mean, first week in F2, And how do I describe this right? I would say it's a whirlwind sort of entrance because you came in, sort of just decided I'm not here just to be in the middle, I'm here to win, and really took it to somebody who's top of the league right now. The fact that you got the praise that you got from Mohard, it must have felt good, seeing that you've just come in and he's already said, you know what, you really made me work for that.
Yeah, like it was good, nice hearing it from him because he's just like he's super quick. I don't even know if I had like a perfect race I'd better get him because he's actually speedy. So it's quite nice actually hearing it from him, like just to get the praise from him really like means something because it shows that maybe I am capable of being up there more consistently as well.
Do you think that it's a case of he's just that tiny bit quicker per lap than you, or do you think it's just a case of that it doesn't matter what you do, you wouldn't be able to try that?
Yeah, I think it was a mix of I think he's quicker than me by like just normal pace anyway, and then he also got the strategy right because he's pretty sure he qualified near the front and I qualified like P10 on the mediums. So I think it helped him being quicker anyway, and then him being near the front really kept him out of traffic, and then it was pretty much his race from lap 1.
That's fair. And you have sort of mentioned the fact of Jimmy. I know he's obviously going to be one of your rivals and everything, but is there part of you that just wants to see you fight him up the top end each week like you were in F3 for the first couple of races?
Yeah, it'd be really nice to because obviously I get on well with Jimmy. We had a good first 2 races in F3. We were like really close, so it'd be nice to bring it up because it'd be a nice little like success story, like me and him both managing to fight in a division higher than we started off in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would like to see that, to be fair. Looking ahead to Russia, you obviously mentioned you really don't like the track. Is there anything in particular you don't like about it?
Time penalties, and then just you have to have 100% focus every time, otherwise you're going to end up with like 15 seconds easily.
That is fair. So, prediction-wise, where do you think you'll end up, first of all?
I feel like I can get a top 10 finish, maybe a top 8 if I'm on it from the start.
Okay. And who's winning?
I'll have to say Warhard's going to win. I don't see anyone else managing to beat him. He looks on the pace from these first 3 races already.
Okay. Gareth, I hope you're not too, salty that I interrupted you, but who do you think's going to win this weekend?
Jam.
Of course it is. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, Jam could be the slowest driver in that league and he'll still say that Jam will win.
Did he win last?
So
did I pick him last week?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm almost certain you did. Yeah, you did. I didn't even have to look at it. You picked him last week. You go for him again?
Yeah, I've said him, so I will have him.
Okay. I am going to go for the XTN90. I think if anyone can beat Roll Hard, it will be him. There we go. I think that pretty much sums up F2 in a nutshell, doesn't it?
I think so. Unless, Joe, you have anything else that you want to say to the guys out there?
Red Bull best team, and that's it.
Fair enough.
No comment. I'm not allowed to.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for coming on to the show, Joe. Much appreciated, and hopefully we'll have you on sometime soon as well.
Yeah, cheers. See
Yeah,
ya.
thank you, Joe.
Fantastic. So that is the Red Bull driver of Joe 79. So, Taz, before we head on to...
Like how you chuck that in there, Liverpool driver. Not Red Bull driver, Liverpool driver.
I said Red Bull.
Said like you said Liverpool driver. He is a Liverpool fan.
Oh, is he? Ah, now I know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. So the Red Bull Liverpool driver, Joe 79. So before we head on to F1, before I get our guest in, let's have a quick just chat about the overall constructors. I mean, I think Madman is going to eclipse his overall team score next week.
Oh no. Oh, that is glorious.
So what took him 22 rounds last season has taken him 4 this, or might take him 4 this season.
To be fair, I think we had a few raised eyebrows when we said that Madman would be a team owner again this season, because of how poorly he did last season. And I think it goes to show that, first season, it's not a cakewalk. And you know what? It does show that sometimes you are going to have a really poor season. You could have multiple really poor drivers. And then next season, he's top of the constructors right now. So it just shows that, yes, you might have a bad first season, but you can always bounce back.
I'm wondering, do you think him and the team, obviously there's been a little bit of disruption, but do you think that he's capable of prolonging it, if that makes sense, or keeping this up?
I think so. You cannot rule out a team that has got someone at the moment like Joe, who's driving as well as he's driving, somebody like Binary. You have Binary, you're automatically in with a chance of winning the overall constructors. There's no argument in that at all. I'm just looking at his other drivers. Let's see, in his F2. Yeah, he lost Liam Hammond and gained Joe, and he's also got Gamerman Steph. That could be, at the moment, that could easily be the strongest pairing in XL right now. I'm looking around and I don't see a stronger pairing. I think Joe and yeah, that immediately makes you dangerous to any overall constructors battle, because having 2 drivers that are in with a chance of a championship is good, but having a team who are both potential, like drivers champions in the same league is incredible. So, yeah.
Fair enough. I think it would be difficult to say otherwise that you're wrong. Like, even throughout all the leagues, I'm thinking of a stronger partnership, and I don't think we have one. I think the only one that could get close in a domination in the league is Slow Dog and Frosted in F4. Sorry, because
I would agree with that, because Slow Dog this season is a different animal.
And now this really does all completely depend on how Map 45 continues this season. But Master Swain and Map 45 and that Renault in F1, that's a very strong team as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the thing is, and everybody knows this across all the leagues, and if you don't, you're about to get a lesson here, but the jump between league to league isn't big until you hit F1. And I think it's showing once again, because you look at, F4 champion is currently sitting technically second in the F3 standings. F3 champion, he had a bad race last week, but he's finished twice inside the top 6, and he's sitting 6th in the championship. And to be fair, he probably has got pace to be even faster than that. I think a few of the guys have said that as well. He's had some incidents that have pushed him down. But then that jump from F2 to F1, Matt's had a 9th and an 8th, and he's not used to being down that low. And I think that shows just how big the jump is from F2 to F1. It is huge.
Yeah, it is pretty big. But we've seen it before, and I think the only one that hasn't struggled from going up to F2 to F1 is Binary.
I knew that was coming.
But yeah, the least said about that, the better. Now, Taz, I'm going to start F1, disappear for a second because I need to do something for, obviously, the picture show. Matt, I haven't forgotten it, don't worry.
Gareth, I'm struggling to talk as it is. I'm sorry, but I've got Crystal Palace versus Man United on in front of me. This is difficult.
But yeah, give me just a couple of minutes. I'll start with welcoming Prophet Meaty to the show. Prophet, well done.
Now we're talking about people. Prophet Meaty, what a guy.
Congratulations. Welcome to the Xtra Show. I mean, you missed the first 2 races of the season for personal reasons. I'm just saying that as the excuse. But were you confident coming into this race? Obviously, the French Grand Prix. You missed the race that you won last season in XL. But what was your thoughts coming into the race?
That France was going to be a complete and utter flop because I never seemed to make it out of turn 1. Which, yeah, a nice surprise.
I mean, it's good to see you back racing. You're a competitive and strong driver. I think the best way to describe you is that, you know, you're competitive, you're strong, and you're difficult to overtake, and you push to get moves done. And that battle at the end of the race, which I'll go into, or hopefully you'll go into a little bit more detail later on. But coming into qualifying, it wasn't ideal for you.
No, I went for a lap on mediums that was absolutely rubbish. And then, yeah, I went for a soft run, crossed the line with literally tenths to go, and I invalidated it at the first corner. Which turned out to be a bit of a blessing, actually, because I've only done, I think it was 1 or 2 practice sessions, and the softs were just complete and utter shit. It's just complete pointless touching them.
Were you surprised that so many people went on to the softs in qualifying?
Yes. I thought everyone would just completely avoid it. Or maybe 1 or 2 will chance it just to get track position.
I mean, to be honest, sat in the comms box, I was very similar in that. I was surprised that so many people, especially the McLarens who double softed as well. That sounds really weird actually now. But what did you do on the weekend? I double softed. No. I can't believe I'm trying to make that a thing. Let's talk through a little bit of the race then, and how, I mean, more how it started for you, because you didn't really make any moves until a little bit later on.
No, I sort of just made it, well, I was in between Binary and Swain, and my own mistake let Binary through. But I just had it in my head that I weren't going to use any ERS. I was just going to let these 2 drag me along, and whenever they went for a move on somebody, I was going to follow them through. And yeah, just stuck with them, and then Binary's medium started to die, so he pitted. Swain pitted a bit. I think they pitted in the same lap, actually. I think they may have. Which was a bit early for hards to mediums. So I just carried on going. I was going to do a few more laps on the hards, but I could see on the timing screen on the left that everyone was slowly starting to catch up again, and I could hear that there was a lot of battling going on, and I didn't want to get pulled out into it. Yeah, it was a good first opening stint.
Now, we saw you make a couple of moves throughout, like you said, following Swain and Binary through. And I mean, Swain did pit a little bit early for those mediums to the end, but it did give him a lot of an advantage over you. Were you surprised at that stage that when
No, Swain going for the undercut. It was always going to come out quite a distance. Fucking hell, Des just pit maneuvered me on Wreckfest, bastard. Yeah, I was always expecting him to, oh fuck, I'm in it again. I'm just gonna turn this off so I can concentrate. Yeah, I was always expecting him to scream off a bit, but I didn't expect it to that level. I knew he was gonna drive off, but yeah, I expected Binary to be a lot further up. I didn't expect him to get into traffic. But listening to what the others were going through sort of convinced me to try and go a few laps longer.
Now, it nearly worked. You picked up a penalty early on, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. But I think it was about, maybe let's say about 6 laps to go. And you're behind Sanchez, who has somehow managed to make some mediums last 11 laps to that point and still be really quite competitive. But Sinful Chris is at the front of the train, starting maybe to slow down a little bit, push Swain in. At any point, did you think, I've got a real chance of winning this race?
Yeah, because I was planning on trying to get a penalty removed. But Mr. Observant pointed out at the end of the race that I picked up another warning somewhere along the line. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm going to get one of the warnings taken away. So this is for the win. So yeah, I was pushing like hell to try and catch the pair of them. As soon as I see them start battling, I just used as much battery as I had just to catch up, just to get involved. Because with Swain's pace, faster tyre, okay, yeah, they were still worn. I was thinking he still would probably pull away a bit and drag Chris with him, so I'd never catch. So yeah, I wanted to join the fight quicker. Rather than thinking long term, I just wanted to get involved with it there and then.
I think there was one point, maybe just as you were about to overtake. Well, you tried an overtake on Sanchez at the double right-hander, like 11-12 kind of thing.
Yes.
And it didn't work. And then...
No, so he showed me out the door to Narnia, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to put some manners on you, cunt, if you're going to treat me like that. And yeah, I thought, I'm just going to fucking send it. And if I don't like it, fuck you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah. It did wind
That
me
was
up.
not the reaction I was
lucky.
expecting.
I've got into the habit of making sure my mic's muted in the party chat. Because if I start ranting at somebody, then yeah. But when he did that, yeah, there was some choice words coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, especially with... I'm guessing that's a toned-down version you just said there as well.
Yes, that really was.
So you
treat me like that, here you go. I'll treat you back the same.
You finally got round to him and past him on a nice move up the inside of the last corner where, funnily enough, Sinful Chris tried something very similar to Sloppy in season 16, but failed. But you managed to make it work, and then you were about 2, maybe 3 seconds off the pace of
about
Swain. And Swain, like speaking to Swain after the stream, or in the podium questions, he was always like just trying to hang back and use the ERS. And when he had, obviously he had a race engineer, but I mean,
yeah, I was going to talk about that. That needs to get banned because getting help, okay, but getting help of Viper, who just absolutely destroys all of us, nah.
I mean, you could probably blame B7 for that, because Viper would have raced if B7 wasn't going to take it seriously and go out on Western Inters. Viper would have raced and then probably destroyed everyone at this track because I've seen him race here and he's ridiculous. But obviously that's he had that little bit of help, but Swain ignored the vital piece of information for not overtaking Sinful Chris. But then you managed, you really did an opportunist overtake into turn 10 and 11. Do you think that's what stopped Swain from winning the race?
Possibly, yeah. I think I've watched the stream back. Chris done a fucking amazing job to hold, being on old hards, doing the strategy he did, and to hold off Swain, who's probably one of the fastest in F1. He done a really good job. So it would have been a matter of time before it happened, but yeah, I'd say that me getting involved would have stopped it because he could have just followed, built his ERS up, and then done it on the last lap. But then I stuck my nose in and fucked his plan up.
Obviously, you've got a change in teammate this season. It's Xbox Nuthead. Have you had much chats with him, or is it?
No, to be fair, the team chat for Merc, it's not quiet, but it's not. I was used to Williams last year, and yeah, we're still trying to get Ash on Wreckfest. So Ash, if you're listening, stop doing the things you're doing. I won't say what I put on the WhatsApp group. Stop doing what you're doing and get on Wreckfest, you fucking swine. But yeah. Nah, it's good. There's a few guys on there who are a lot more involved than others, but yeah, I've not really had much communication with United, to be fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mr. Tazo, anything from you for Profit?
I mean, nah, I think you've covered most of it. Do you know what? I will ask one question actually. Last season you were sort of inside that top 5 bracket. Do you feel like that you maybe have the pace to be outsider for the title?
An outside long shot, maybe, if I can get through the first opening laps within DRS distance of Binary and Swain and Light Shock, then maybe get involved once in a while. But yeah, I think realistically, 4th, 3rd is probably the best I can do. But yeah, close to title. But, yeah, I think the others, they're just too. Yeah, when they get it right, there's no catching them.
Yeah. I think apart from that, predictions. Who do you think's going to win this weekend?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Pickled, because last season he had a banging race around Russia, and if it weren't for me and him tripping over each other, he probably could have won it. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm Pickled.
I wasn't expecting that one, but Gareth, what about you?
Really does depend who race, doesn't it? Because if Viper's there, then it kind of makes things a little bit difficult.
Yeah,
but Pickle did have a good race there. It was a good weekend for the Williams team there last season, all in all.
The only double podium we had, I think.
I think Light Shock. I'm going to go back Light Shock. I think he's going to have a.
Oh, you're a dick.
return.
I've already written down Light Shock for me. I think the exact same. I think he returns to the top step after a really poor race at the weekend. Unfortunately, I think he's made it clear that he wasn't happy, but he bounces back with a win this weekend.
Fair enough. Well, Prophet, thank you very much for coming onto the show. Have you got any final words for the guys out there?
I love you.
Oh, we love you too. Good luck for the race, and we'll hopefully speak to you soon.
Well, man, take care.
Right.
And you too.
I think it's time to do a little bit later than usual, but the picture of the week, which is now on the stream. Thank you very much to someone help me here. Taz, who was it that put it in? Roland. Thank you, Roland, for the picture. It's nice to have someone other than Davey win it. So your picture will be put into the prize draw for the end, something like that, Taz. I can't remember the rules. I'm a little bit.
Yeah, so every single week we get a picture of the week, and then at the end of the season there will be a vote to decide the picture of the season, basically.
So that's it. That's that one. I think just as a reminder, we've got the merch store up and running tomorrow. The W site.
Just quickly, just to mention about that. If you're having issues getting on the website, just try again later. I think we broke it. I think we've actually broken the website because I tried getting on a couple of times and it's just loading and not doing anything. So well done, guys. But at the same time, just be patient.
So yeah. It's just to mention as well that the W my logo is removable as of tomorrow. He's updating it, so tomorrow that will be updated on there, and I believe so the NFL team that or podcast team that Slow Dog helped us find this is, so if you are a fan of it, NFL, I would go and recommend it. It's called The Third Short Pod, and they do get some interesting NFL related guests on as well. It's not just those three. They do have guests as well, probably a little bit similar to the Xtra channel, but definitely worth a shout. They're on the usual YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and usual places. Probably Amazon as well now as well. Hopefully we'll be doing something like that very soon. And then I guess it's just thank you very much to everyone who's come on to the show. Thank you very much to everyone who has taken the time out to watch the show. And thank you for Mr. Tazo for not a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Taz will be doing the Tazo Madness thing very soon. Taz, is a stream start. When is that all kicking off?
Scheduled to go in about 10 minutes time, but I'm just setting everything up just now, so the stream should probably be going live any second now, so if you want to head over there, or just if Gareth is nice enough to share my stream across, either or. But I need to get that stupid Snaz app up first.
So there you have it, guys. That is it for this time this week. I'm just making a fool of myself there. We are back on Sunday for the Russian Grand Prix here at F1XL. Don't forget, we've got 4 leagues being streamed, F1 down to F4, and it will all be advertised on Twitch, the Twitter, the Twitch handles. There we go. But obviously, I will be live from 2100 hours, well, a little bit before, to run down the F1 side of things with Ollie. And then we'll be back on Wednesday next week. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.